Hello and welcome to Dream Team Coach TV, brought to you by Betway. I'm Sean Burke. Joining me is Nick Elliott, Andy Taylor and Graham Marshall. Coming up on this week's show.
You're playing Connect 4, I see you're playing Graz.
And now, before I ask this next question, Andy,
that's one of them where you throw the keeper forward. It doesn't matter what happens really. You might as well lose 3-0 than 1-0.
I don't know whether I like that I'm getting a catchphrase here.
It's really not that different to Sunday League.
Well, they say lightning never strikes twice, but Man United struck 9 on Tuesday in Ralph Hasenhüttl and Southampton's second 9-0 defeat in 2 seasons. That's the most embarrassing 18 I've seen since Andy Taylor's last trip to a golf course. How does that happen to the same team twice in such quick succession?
And it was on Groundhog Day, right? Was that not?
Oh yeah, I didn't even realise it.
You see that?
I actually did not even realise that. And it was on Groundhog Day.
Well, that's the thing. Is it's weird because it'd be weird anyway. It'd be weird if it was like the worst team in the league, but it's actually a decent team and with a good manager. So that's what makes it even weirder. I've got a theory this is actually the best thing that can happen for Southampton.
Oh yeah? So elaborate.
Well, because I think Hasenhüttl actually done a really good job, all things considered. Like, if you look at that game and that last month, not so good, but look at the whole timeline of since he's been there, he's actually pretty good. And there's probably been a few, directors and chairmen around the country or Europe even thinking, oh, this guy looks pretty good, pretty impressive. Maybe we'll go for him. But now that the fact that he has a habit of losing 9-0 once a year. might think like the top clubs might think, I don't really want to lose 9-0 at any point. So I think you'd be hard pressed to find any Southampton fans that think that he's doing a bad job.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't long ago that they were top of the league. I know that was only games in hand and very briefly, but they have been really good this year. And I think everyone sort of looked at the way that they kept hold of him after the last 9-0 and how good that was for a club of Southampton standing to go, oh, actually, we're going to stick with this guy. It was a freak result. Fingers crossed for them. It's another freak result as opposed to anything else.
Well, if anything, they've already done this now. So this is like, they've had the rehearsal.
Coming back from 9-0, easy.
Yeah. I guess it's slightly humiliating. Like in that, he must have been on the sideline when they got to like 7-0 and just been like, please, just not 9 again.
I feel really bad for the fans. I mean, obviously just in general, but I know that they were a bit annoyed with like how often the first 9-0 was referred to. Like, it became like a bit of a joke between them. Like, no matter what the game is, what the situation, at some point the commentator's going to mention that 9-0 against Leicester. It became like a bit of a joke. And now, they're going to get it every week for the next probably 2-3 years. Like, it's going to be years before people stop regularly mentioning the fact that they lost 9-0 twice in 2 seasons.
Hold fire on the chat for a few minutes as it's time for the 4 to Score challenge. This week, our sponsor Betway has set us a challenge in keeping with some of the shocking VAR decisions we've seen over the weekend. I have 4 screenshots of VAR offside calls, and you have to tell me whether they were given as offside or not. Okay?
Now, you'd think this would be obvious, right?
You'd think.
I don't want to play 4D chess here and accidentally get myself out of one, so I'm going to go with yes, that's offside.
Okay.
Although I worried that I've accidentally 5D chessed myself and it isn't offside. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, go on then. I'll say onside.
Oh no!
I'm going to say onside as well, and my reasoning is that I think potentially a Chelsea player has actually passed it back to him.
That was onside.
Yeah.
4D chess, Graz.
You 4D chess yourself, Graz.
I was playing chess. You were playing checkers.
You're playing Connect 4. That's what you're playing, Graz.
I'm trying to remember this one because that looks like Spurs to me.
Offside for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with offside as well. I think I remember.
I remember this. This was one of the first toenail incidents of the season. I remember this. It's offside.
You are correct. You're all correct. It was offside.
Trim those toenails, lads.
I remember this, but I don't actually remember what the outcome was.
Yeah.
Remember the incident,
Yeah.
not the result.
I remember one of the teams was livid.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with offside for this one.
Yeah, I'll say offside just because that would seemingly make people more angry.
Yeah, offside for me.
Because I think this is armpit gate now that we've all answered, right? I think this is the first time that they were like, his armpit is offside.
You were all correct. It was no goal, offside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, who am I even looking at here?
I think it's Crystal Palace, West Ham.
Wait, so are we looking at IU? Oh my goodness, this is impossible.
Yeah, because look at the faint red line on
Yeah, yeah. Just remember, lads, these are the lines that they're actually literally using to decide results in games.
No, I've got no idea. I'll say onside.
Onside? Okay.
I'm saying onside.
I'm going onside as well then.
Oh no.
You're all just copying each other. I should have got you to do it privately. You wouldn't be swayed.
You should have gone the opposite on that, Graz, because that's your only way back in.
Well, the answer is it was onside and it was given as a goal. So,
Graz,
Nick and
that's
the-
one of them where you throw the keeper forward. It doesn't matter what happens really.
Yeah.
You might as well lose. You might as well lose 3-0 than 1-0.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, we're gone to a tiebreaker here, so stick around to find out who wins this week's 4 to Score challenge. But right now, it's back to the football chat. Southampton did have 2 players sent off, which sounds rare, but also happened in the Wolves versus Arsenal match last night. You'd think Andy would be happy with a win, but the debate was raging in our group chat this morning. Now, before I ask this next question, Andy, so Andy, what was wrong with Bellerin's Instagram post?
Nick, I hope you back me up on this because I know sometimes you play devil's advocate where I'm concerned, but
No, mate, I just disagree with you. Flat out.
oh my goodness me, where do I begin, man? Again, like first of all, classic case of something happens to a big club and there's an absolute outrage, as if like it's the first thing that's ever happened to a club. So obviously, the main thing that I've got the issue with is Arteta's post-match press conference, where he said, "I've watched 10 different angles of the Luiz red card and I can't see the contact." Well, that's a lie. Like there is literally contact there. But for some reason, I assume because he thinks he's on a pedestal as a manager of Arsenal, he can essentially make up his own narrative and the disciples of Arsenal will just follow what Arteta says. Either way, it's not a red. I get that. But laws of the game suggests that it's a red card. So that's that. Then you've got Bellerin. Now, I think this is one of the most outrageous things I've seen this season. And I've seen some stinkers of decisions and just nonsense. So Bellerin's come out with a photo of Cody and Craig Pawson doing that after the final whistle with him looking at it. So he's insinuating that Cody's a cheat. He's insinuating that we're in league with the referees, both of which are not true. He's also just putting a massive slur on a fellow pro in Connor Cody, who actually is one of the best pros in the game. Fourthly, it's just a lack of professionalism to just come out and do something like that when essentially the referee has applied the laws of the game. We sit here week in, week out, and we go, I do anyway. I think, like, why have Arsenal fans got this entitlement of we're better than a lot of other teams and we deserve to be where we are? But essentially, we've got Hector Bellerin fueling that. We've got Hector Bellerin coming out with the saltiest of posts that is just igniting the fires of all Arsenal fans. Hector Bellerin, 5 million followers, has just posted a photo of Connor Cody and Craig Pawson essentially in league with each other to incite the entire Arsenal fan base and all 5 million of his followers. Are we going to be there to support Craig Pawson when inevitably he gets death threats and he gets all sorts of abuse thrown his way? I just thought on so many levels last night I was disappointed at football, and I've been disappointed at football in a lot of ways recently, but I just thought all of the Arsenal team liked Bellerin's post, which shows that they all agree with that sentiment, which is just embarrassing.
I think what you're saying obviously is right, because it's pretty easy to find footage of Bellerin doing the same to a referee after an Arsenal win. Like that would be incredibly easy to do because at the end of the game, all the players do that to the officials. Well, most of them do anyway. So, you know, the idea that, oh look, I've caught Cody and the ref in some sort of cahoots here is like, well, if you took 3 seconds earlier, you were probably doing the same to the same referee. So I can understand that Bellerin and the Arsenal players are frustrated about the Luiz thing, But like you say, they're kind of a bit confused about what has actually happened. Like, it's not the fact that the referee is biased in favour of Wolves and is best mates with Conor Cody. It's that situation makes a bit of a mockery of that law because he's not intending to play the ball, but the contact is so minimal. So it's a bit like, if that was my job, it's like, well, he's not intending to play the ball. So I can understand that interpretation. But when you actually think of it in just like a pure footballing way, it's like, when I think of red cards, like what should a red card actually be for in football? It's kind of something really heinous, like so much so that you shouldn't be allowed on the pitch anymore. Like, is that what happened? Did Louise do something which is that? No. So that's where, I can understand the frustration.
Is Bellerin going to get a fine for this? Because in my opinion, Nuno, for instance, coming out and saying the referee's had a stinker, like he needs to have a look at himself, that gets, I don't know, 50 grand fine. Does Bellerin indirectly calling Craig Pawson a cheat and a fellow professional a cheat, does that get a fine? Because if it doesn't get a fine, then the moral line in football is not right. But we know the moral line in football is not right anyway. But
Southampton have requested that Mike Dean doesn't do any of their games as well. Which,
I'll join in on that as well.
More common thing where people are, there'd be like a blacklist of referees for each club, which is a bit of a dangerous thing to get into, isn't it?
Do you know? I just think the game's in a little bit. I think I'm telling myself it's because there's no fans that actually all these extra things are getting scrutinised, and I'm losing my head over it. But actually, I'm like, when fans are there and the passion and you can see the buzz of a game, I think I'll be back to it. I just think it's on its arse at the moment, personally.
There we go. Football's on its arse. Pat the show up. We've had a good run.
Yeah.
Might as well just end it there, guys.
It's not often we have a Spurs fan on the panel, but they had a rough result against Brighton, and I believe you sent out a tweet. Now I think I'm quoting from memory. It was along the lines of "Pack the club up, he's killed it."
Yeah, I did tweet
I don't
that,
think you're talking about chess club here. Are you referring to indirectly Jose Mourinho? Were you pretty annoyed after the result?
I think we've all got to appreciate that in the heat of the moment after a bad result, you think some things, you say some things.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want the club actually packed up. That would be insane.
And they were doing that after your tweet.
They were looking into how to pack it up.
It says here that Graz_69 says you should pack it up.
No, okay, right. So that was obviously quite a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But I am really struggling to watch Spurs at the moment. I think, I used to really enjoy watching Spurs, even when we were bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is some joy to be had in an entertaining failure. But at the moment, we're not an entertaining anything. We're filming this before the Chelsea game. Mm-hmm. That could be another absolute shambles. So let's not, let's just, cover my comments with that. Right now, the only thing I live for is Tanguy and Ndombele doing weird stuff on the football pitch. I'm just getting tired of the same pattern every game of us, like, either getting a goal early or looking good at the start. I mean, I know we had the disallowed one against Brighton, but that was the thing. It was like, oh, look, here we go. Sorry, Liverpool even. Sorry, this is the thing. The pattern is so similar that all the games are blending into one.
Between like the end of the Liverpool game and the start of the Brighton game, Spurs went 70 minutes or something without a shot across the two games. Early in the season, when Spurs are doing well, we were talking about. I gave that little nerdy speech about Son's XG and all that, and about how it's not sustainable to all power to the lad for being a great finisher, but if you need to create more chances to maintain it, because and we were saying fair play to Jose for riding that wave of I've got two amazing forwards that are scoring more goals than the stats suggest they should be. Like, you might as well ride that wave while it lasts. That's because that when Spurs comes to an end, which it kind of has, especially with Kane's injury, there needs to be something else. You need to have a backup plan or a reaction to it, which we haven't really seen at all.
What percentage are you annoyed at the actual style of football versus the actual results and where you are in the table? Where is your anger more?
At the style, yeah, it has to be, because fundamentally we're still in within the League Cup final, we're still in the Europa League, we're still in the FA Cup as we speak. Like, we could end this season, like, we're not going to, but we could right now end this season with 3 cups. Would that be worth it if we continue to play like this? Like, part of me says yes, but there's another part of me that's like, if we're this awful in so many games against teams that we should be beating, I mean, no disrespect to Brighton, but they hadn't won at home all season. Is it worth it? We've got this sort of blood-packed well, we've got Jose in to win us a trophy. And I mean, if it happens, I kind of want him to just leave immediately after. Like, I kind of want that to be in his contract, some sort of, I've won a trophy now, contract ended with immediate effect.
I think the only reason why I raise that point is just because it annoys me where I think some Spurs fans have that sense of entitlement that the fact that they're not neck and neck with Man City and United and Liverpool is why they're annoyed. And I actually think where you are on the table is fair, really. I agree with the sentiment, though, on how bad you're playing stylistically.
Okay, it's time for the memes. Each week, our panelists submit a meme to the Dream Team Instagram page, and you folks get to vote for your favorite. So if you're not already following us on Instagram, head on over to our page and get it sorted.
I was the first one. Just
Yeah.
I like it.
Just one word. One
Simple
word,
but very
easy.
What's
effective.
the minimum amount of effort I can put into a meme?
It was,
Same word.
but sometimes, simple's the way to go. Don't overplay it, lads. Why? Just like Liverpool's second goal against West Ham. What's the point of practicing passing patterns on the training ground when you can just go from your own box to celebrate in 3 touches?
Second tier, we've got Spurs trying to climb back into the top 4 without Kane.
The great
I have
result.
to ask
Rude
Jack.
one. It is rude.
It is
one.
rude.
Very
one.
rude. Well, also, like, unless one of these lads is about to fall really terribly to their death, he's suggesting that they won't do it. It's just going to be difficult.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
I was like, they are fine.
But they are doing it. Like,
Slowly. If anything, it's a positive meme. They've made it to the
yeah,
top.
thanks a lot, Jack. Yeah, appreciate it.
And finally, we've got trolls online versus trolls in real life. Is yours, Andy, is it?
Yeah, no, I just love the video, to be fair.
It's very good.
I felt it was. I see what you're getting at, but I felt you could have been a bit more specific. You could have just dug out whatever fan base you wanted to. Like Man United fans online versus in real life, or Arsenal. You could have just picked out any fan base you wanted, and I think that would have flicked something a bit more.
Yeah,
like, just a bit generic. Everyone's a bit like, I don't know, is that going to go at me? I don't want to like that one because that might be me.
Okay, well, the results are in. In last place with 165 votes is Graz/Jack.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not taking credit for it now. Yeah.
Positive meme in support of Spurs. So hard luck.
In mild support of Spurs.
Yeah.
Sounds like an inspirational poster, you can do it, guys. In second place with 454 votes is Andy Taylor. Should have put a name on there, I guess. And because in first place with a minimalist meme is Nick Elliott. He's bringing it back. Forget the videos. Forget even 2 words. Just one. That's all you need. None of the fancy stuff. 695.
I'm going to go for 1 letter next week.
We've got a top-of-the-table clash this weekend as Liverpool face Man City at Anfield. Man City have emerged as the new league favourites, though that phrase makes as much sense as a VAR offside call this year. Their defence has been outstanding with 5 league clean sheets in a row as of recording. Liverpool have just signed a championship defender. Are they done for this season?
I'm really pleased that it was a championship defender, though, because I hadn't seen any of these rumours. And then I saw that Liverpool were trying to sign Ben Davis, and I was terrified. I was really worried about my wonderful 7 out of 10 Welsh left back.
There's no need for more than one Ben Davis in the Premier League. I don't care how good. This guy could be the next Maldini, but we've already got a Ben.
I think this is the title right here, to be honest. I think Liverpool are the only team that can catch City. And let's say they do go like 7 points clear with the game in hand, or they could even go 10 points clear of the game in hand, depending on how they get on during the week. I think that's game over. And not to suggest that Liverpool couldn't bridge that gap. I don't think United could bridge it. No one else could bridge it. I think Liverpool are the only one that could. But there's absolutely no way that Liverpool can go on a winning streak of 10, 15 games just with the worries they've got. And for that reason, I think that's it. I think City win, game over. Pack up the league, as Graz would say. It's done.
You said pack up the club, actually.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know whether I like that I'm getting a catchphrase here. Like,
big shout out to Jordan Henderson at centre back for me. Like, he's actually been incredibly good. It's not one of those positions where you can just, drop in. Like, it's a very specialised position. Yet, like, if you get your positioning slightly wrong, your position score a goal. Do you know what I mean? It's not like if you're playing up front and you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. I'll have another chance soon. Like if you get it wrong at centre back, it goes spectacularly wrong. So for him to slot in there, and do a job that he's been doing, just like Fabinho was doing as well. Just very impressed. I mean, we're saying this before Liverpool played against Brighton in the week, and so he might have banged in 6. He might have had a Jan Bednarak of a game, and it might look incredibly strange. I've just been impressed with him basically. Just utility footballer that he is.
My point is that actually a lot of these big games have turned out to be utter dross. But actually, I think that the fact that Liverpool and City both love playing a high line, and Liverpool, let's be honest, they know they have to come out and do something. I think it could be a better game. I don't think it is going to be that kind of glorified chess game that we always see, and it's just pass.
I really hope so, because you are so right about this. Like every game we've hyped up on this show, I've gone and watched that weekend and been like, what have I done wasting my weekend? So many 0-0s or just boring 1-1s or something. I don't know if you've had a win out of the big games we've profiled.
Just that you mentioned Jordan Henderson. Somebody clipped up a video of Jordan Henderson being overheard on the pitch, just shouting encouragement to his teammates.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when everyone was saying, the game's going to be played behind closed doors, we're going to get an insight into this elite level communication that happens in the Premier League. Turns out it's essentially just Jordan Henderson and Connor Cody shouting variations of "come on" and "go on" with swear words. So, it's really not that different to Sunday League.
Well, we can't finish the show without seeing how our 4 to score challenge finished. Let's take a look, shall we? I've removed the ball from a photo.
Oh.
And you have to tell me where it is or where it should be.
I thought it was going to be another offside one, but this is much better.
You say get a gate from a game from 2014?
I looked specifically for a goal mouth scramble to make this as difficult as possible. Right, well, you can send me your answers privately, and if you're both wrong, I'll just ask you to guess again then.
Do you know what? Just because I'm not actually involved, I'm going to say it's in A. Just because if it is, Andy's going to be really disappointed.
I've got your answers. Nick said B.
Ooh.
Andy and Henry, just for good measure, said I. The answer is I.
Oh, look at that!
Fair play, lads.
At that. Do you know what? I went off Lucas and kind of where he's looking. It looks like he's just slotted it. He's got his head over the ball, bottom corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was always going to be one of those 4 in that corner. All the eye lines are all centered around there. But yeah, I is the correct answer. Well done,
beautiful,
Andy.
lovely.
Well done, Andy. I guess. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's all from us this week, folks. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Dream Team Coach TV, brought to you by Betway. So update those dream teams, enjoy the football, and we will see you again next week. Pack the episode up.